Hey, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to wherever you are in the globe. I say this every single time I do an AMA, especially here in the Gajira server, because, like I was just explaining to the team of Culture Cubs, is that Gajira is everywhere. We literally have people in time zones of all over the place. So I appreciate you guys carving out some time in your busy schedules to come and, get educated about a really good up and coming project that has taken care of the Gajira community. And they're actually building something really cool. So I'm gonna let the team go ahead and, do a little bit of an intro and tell us what they do in the project, and we'll get started. How's it going, guys? Thanks for coming out. Hey, awesome. Hmm. Awesome, awesome. Sounds great. Sounds you guys got a nice, well-rounded team out there working on this. What I like to do oftentimes here in my AMAs is kind of give you guys a little bit of a chance to give a good rundown. Just pretend that the people out in the crowd have never heard a lick about your project, and you guys kind of have a little bit of an elevator pitch because we can look at the website and we can look at the Discord and do all that kind of stuff. But sometimes when I hear actually what the project's all about, what you guys like, your values, what you're kind of trying to accomplish, and just like the main dream and goal of what you guys are trying to do here. When I hear it from the team, it kind of brings it to life a little bit more than just me reading it, some text. So like, I'd like to hear what you guys, a little bit of a pitch to kind of let me know what's about the project. For anyone that out there that has no idea, that just stumbled into this AMA and are just literally like, what is this project? Very cool. Yeah, can you like elaborate on that? How does having an iconic rock band, how does that like, how you can integrate that in there? It sounds really cool, but sometimes, when you bring these, some people bring some stars and they might not have anything to do with the NFT space, and you bring them in and then, people are kind of like, oh, it's kind of lackluster because it doesn't like, how are you going to integrate them properly so that it actually has a legitimate impact on the success of the project? Yeah, it's like it's one of those things now. Before, with the Web 3 and everything like that, there was only like a singular bridge to the Web 2 space into what we like to call, maybe the real world. But yeah, like I think that starting to go away where there's just a singular bridge and there's multiple bridges, and I think that it's becoming more of something that's gonna, like, be a really big part of it is like bridging that gap where it's like, Web 2, 3, and it's like more molding, and we're still kind of getting there. And it sounds like you guys have some of the really good background to do something like that. I really hope that it start happening like that because I think that this is very good for the longevity of the NFT space as a whole. Is when we are able to create more bridges to the Web 2, and it also helps us onboard and also gives us more resources to do, it opens up the possibilities for us to do like endless things, once we have that kind of onboarding going on. So that's definitely a really cool thing. I just wanted to ask you, who's the artist that did this? Because I see that the art is some really high quality 3D artwork. Is it someone that's like a more well known person in this space, or? Yeah, I was, that's kind of what my next question was going to be. I just, I look at the art and to me, it's like really high quality and it's like really cute and, it's very lovable, but I can't remember the last 3D art project that did really well. How are you going to, get away from this stigma of, 3D art projects just being kind of, mediocre at best? Because honestly, the last one was Imposters, and the only reason why that one was just like absolutely a swimming success is because they had, Elio Trades and Becker and Banks all, pushing that one. But so how are you guys going to try to combat with that whole stigma of, 3D art projects not doing well? Yeah, and a prolific artist if you'd had that, because Primate Planet and Crypto Bulls, they like sold out and they flipped like crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And people ask me questions always, how did Gajira create such a tight-knit community? And realistically, there's no real way to answer that, How have you guys gone about trying to create this foundation of a tight-knit community that's kind of like you guys are going to build off of? Like, how have you guys gone about that within the Discord and like within Twitter and all the engagement with the fans and, people who are, grinding in in your Discord for whitelist and, even all the people that just like come through just to say hey and everything like that. How have you guys gone about trying to create something kind of like how Gajira has? Yeah, I mean that's the thing that you were saying is that Gajira definitely has a community of diamond handlers. I always said it was kind of a crazy thing that the people that don't sell are actually some of the people that if they did sell, the money would change their life, and that's why I've always thought that the Gajira server and the community is so absolutely like just remarkable because of that fact that that most of the people that have been holding since the end of December or whatnot, and those are the people that literally, if they sold, that money would just could buy them a car that they really need, and the people that are actually selling are the whales that actually don't really need to sell. So yeah, it's kind of a crazy little like that dynamic, and sounds like you guys have thought a lot through it. Being smart with your partnerships and all that kind of stuff is always a good idea to not just kind of dilute the situation with having just a massive amount, and that's never a good thing in my honest opinion. One thing that I was looking at, that people, all of course love rewards. It's something that they always want. They want value for their NFT. Could you touch on the Cub contribute and the Cub hibernation and kind of explain like how that works with the holders? Very cool. No, it sounds like you guys have thought that out pretty thoroughly. I'm gonna go through. There's a couple people in the crowd that are asking a couple questions, and I want to make sure I don't miss them. Purple Ninja NFT was asking Purple Fire and Ninja NFT, sorry. On the Twitter it says that you guys are minting in May, but it sounds like you guys have been like kind of carefully like thinking out meticulously what you guys are gonna do. And are you guys still considering minting in May, or are you going to move that considering the current market conditions? Yeah, absolutely. And I think that any project that is trying to rush to, mint right now is kind of, a little bit out of their freaking minds to for lack of a better way to say it, because we've seen some really good projects that had built for a long time that kind of just decided they want to go through with it, and they sold like maybe like 10% of their collection, and if they waited then they would have easily sold out in better market conditions. So I think that's good that you guys are kind of adapting. A question about the app though: is the app going to be mainstream marketed, or is this just going to be exclusively for your project? Very cool. Yeah, that definitely answers the question. I appreciate your actually in-depth answers. Some people give me a couple words and whatnot, and that kind of doesn't really invoke very much confidence in the project. And so I appreciate you guys having well thought out answers and just actually like being all about your project. And I appreciate the hell out of that. So thank you so much. I don't know if there's too many more questions. I think some stuff's getting answered inside the chat and everything like that, but I'm trying to ask them anyways for anyone that at home that misses this. If they missed the AMA, that they can rewatch and they can hear about all the questions because they may have had the same ones. Is there anything you guys would like to add? We're kind of like getting up close to an hour, and I usually try to keep the AMAs an hour long, but they can go longer if you guys wanted to. It's just kind of like a natural stopping point for the human mind that thinks that 1 hour is about long enough, and anything longer than that might be a little bit too long. But feel free to. You guys have the. This is your platform right now. I'm giving you guys the podium to be able to convince people, to teach people that this is a good project that you should mint, or even if just buying on the secondary. So if you guys want to add anything else, feel free to. But I think we've gotten a lot of good information here, and if you, yeah, go ahead. Feel free. Yeah, go ahead, raise your hand for sure, or say it in the chat if you don't, if you're scared to come up on here. We don't bite. Okay. I'm not Let's see if he has a question concerning this. We got, we got, yeah. We'll let Monkey Town. Site.eth was asking a question about something that didn't pertain to this, so I'm not sure if he or she is curious about that. But go ahead, Monkey Town. How's it going? Thanks for coming up here. Appreciate you. Doing, doing great. How about yourself? Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see if there's anyone else that has any questions. I was trying to. Yeah, so site.eth, he just had a question about Fujira, something that I can answer later that it doesn't pertain to this AMA right now, so we'll keep it all on topic. So if there's anything else that you guys want to add, it doesn't look like anybody else is raising their hand except for site.eth, so feel free to add anything else if there's anything last, like, closing words, just to kind of leave everybody with, just like people that may have won a whitelist or, might consider buying off the secondary or whatnot. So yeah, just go ahead and, feel free, man. This is you guys' time. Absolutely. The pleasure's all ours, and we really appreciate you guys taking your time out. I know you guys are extremely busy. Any project that's up and coming is always, just round the clock, working way past normal work hours, and I completely understand that. So we here at the Gajira community really appreciate that you guys came out here and you answered all the questions, and you guys kind of gave us a really good overview of what's going on with your project and what you guys are all about and your vision. And one last little parting thing is that, if you guys are successful, like, how are you guys going to better the NFT space? I always like to ask this question to projects because, a lot of times people are just thinking about, hey, I need to sell my project out, and that's not necessarily the best mentality. My thinking is the best mentality is how is your project going to better the NFT space, because it's not about being the best project, it's more about, keeping this space around for a long time. And, there can be a lot of really good projects, a lot of really successful projects, and I just want to make sure that people have it part of their vision is to try to add, years up to the life expectancy of the NFT space. And I think that's an extremely important aspect that you need to not look over. Awesome. And I appreciate you so much for actually having a very well thought out, response to that answer because, there's so many times where people don't really have much to say really about it. And I think it's a really important thing because, everyone's kind of thinking about their own projects. And, if you only think about your own project, guess what? Then the NFT space could be withering away. And then if the NFT space goes away, then who cares if you sold your project out or your project has a high floor price? It doesn't matter if the NFT space isn't around. So I appreciate you guys thinking about that. And I hope that you guys have that kind of be something in the back of your mind as you guys are moving forward. From now to launch to months after the launch when you guys are, really seeing through your roadmap. And like I said before, the Jira family here in the community and in everything and everyone that's all about it, we thank you very, very, very much for coming out here and speaking on behalf of your project and educating all of the holders here about, just this like really cool idea you guys have and lots of benefits and a very cool vision. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. Well, yep, yep. The pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much. We will talk soon, and I'll send this recording over to you guys, and you guys can post it in your Discord. Awesome, awesome. Take care. You as well. Lighters.